Hello and welcome to TechTalk, a Podaholiks podcast with Andrew Thomas from digitalnexa.com and myself, James Piecowye. For the next 30 minutes, we're going to be talking about some cool ideas that all revolve around tech. You're going to love it. Whole bunch to get through. Let's get right to it. This is TechTalk.
Do you know what it is?
TechTalk, Andrew Thomas,
digitalnexa.com. I'll talk about it offline.
No, tell me. Go ahead. What is it?
No, it's good. I'll tell you offline.
Yeah, okay.
No, we'll do this and I'll explain why.
Yeah, okay. Back to where we... So now we've got the online version of TechTalk and the offline version of TechTalk.
That's it. Yeah, you guys wish that you would listen to the offline version out there. That would be great if you could. And we're coming from a different location today, right?
We're coming
Where
from...
are we? Urban Grounds. Around the back of Mosaic Center, down the road from there. This
right
is
beside
fantastic.
Tesla, right in the lobby area of Ford.
Good coffee.
Great coffee.
Just had a superfood salad here as well.
Yeah.
So we're kind of hopping around. We're going to be back to our kind of home base of Rove next couple of weeks.
Okay,
but
looking forward to that.
We've just fired up a new... Do we want to tell the boys and girls about the new podcast we're doing?
Well, this is kind of cool,
Yeah.
and we don't actually have a name for it yet.
No.
But we're...
Three dudes in a car, right?
Three
I
dudes
thought
in a
that's what
car.
it was, yeah.
Okay, that's the name.
Yeah.
Three dudes in a car.
Yeah.
And essentially, we're doing car reviews.
Yeah.
And
With a twist.
With a twist, because a lot of folks have been saying, oh, so what's the deal? So in this case, where our first car that we've reviewed is a Mustang GT Premium.
Yeah.
So this
Beautiful,
is the
bright
V8.
yellow, black rims.
Yeah. So we sat down actually with the brand manager
Mhm.
from Ford, who was talking to us about it. His name is Andrew. He was
Yeah.
talking to us about the vehicle. Went
Great
down
name.
to the garage. He gave us a walkthrough. We just had a nice conversation. Then Glenn Power, Andrew Thomas, James Piecowye climb into that thing.
So,
I sat in the back seat.
yeah.
I've still got a kink in the neck.
That's it. Others said they couldn't do it, but we did. We proved them wrong. I don't know who these people are, but we proved them wrong.
We drove around for an hour.
Yeah.
And talked about the car.
That's it.
Now, someone said, "Oh, well, what kind of review is that?" And I said, "Hold on." And I keep saying this.
Yeah,
and
real.
maybe I'm trying to convince it's a real review because we were literally just talking about what we like
Yeah.
about this car, what we don't like about this car, some of the features, and it was interesting. But when you go and buy a car, how long do you test drive it for?
Yeah. Well, 10 minutes max.
10 minutes, 15 minutes.
Up the way. They've
Up the
usually
way.
got a track, haven't they? They take you around, hey, look
Yeah.
at this. I mean, no, it was great. We got to go on the road. We got to go on the kind of, Jumeirah Beach for a bit of a kind of cruising. And yeah, it was great.
We were on the highway. It was fun. So
Looking
it's
forward to
literally
getting out there.
literally those conversations, and at the end of it,
Yeah.
we sort of talk about what we liked about
Yeah,
it, what we
yeah.
didn't like about it, but it's just a great conversation
Yeah,
of folks driving around in a car.
That's it.
And it's funny because as we're doing it, and I'm thinking, and I've recorded, and I haven't listened to the quality of the audio.
Yeah, so we might have to completely backtrack on this.
Yeah, we might say it's done. It's not going to happen. But I honestly, I think the fun part it is just this conversation that's happening
exactly. Yeah.
as you're doing it.
Yeah, nice different aspects as well, right? So, you know quite a bit about cars. I know Sweet FA about cars. Glenn knows everything about cars. So it's kind
Well,
of...
it was funny because
a nice bounce.
what was the thing that bugged him the most about this car?
Yeah.
So we all had issues with the steering wheel. We thought there was too many gadgets on
That's
it. And you
right,
couldn't
yeah.
figure out where they were. And from the gadget and tech side,
That's it.
it's like, why so many? But the thing that bugged him was the sound of the valve in the exhaust clicking as it changed, which didn't bug me.
We didn't
at all.
even hear it.
Yeah, I didn't hear it at all.
Yeah,
For
yeah.
him, he's like, I can't take this anymore. I was
That's
going, well, what do you hear?
That's it, yeah. So, no, looking forward to getting out there and joining the Podaholiks family.
Yeah, so it's going to be a lot of fun and a piece of that. So we just got so many shows going now.
That's it, yeah.
Dr. Jenna's back, and
Yeah.
before too long, I mean, you're working the website, so
Yep.
we're already on the socials.
That's it. We'll be up and running.
And I can't wait for that. So it's I'm looking forward to getting that going. And people actually, every time people ask, they say, "Oh, where do I find you?"
Where
I
do I find you?
I say Podaholiks with a
Everywhere.
K.
Where don't you find us?
Well, that's what I said to them. I said, just Google us, and they go, "Oh yeah, okay." And they Google it, and we come up first thing.
Yeah.
Podaholiks. Someone Googled in the parking lot here at Ford. We came up first thing on the listings, Podaholiks. And it was the Podaholiks Spotify listing that comes up.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, they've optimized that.
So I thought that was pretty cool. So I was very happy about that. So, yeah, you're looking for us.
That's great. And then we've got our Twitter stuff coming up on there afterwards.
Yeah.
So
Twitter.
yeah, nice.
And
Yeah.
we're available on all the CarPlay. We should
That's
check
it.
that out.
And also our videos are there as well.
Oh yeah, there we go.
'Cause YouTube are pulling for our YouTube.
So that's it.
And iTunes.
And iTunes.
And Instagram.
and Instagram.
And-
Look at that.
And Player FM and Anchor and
it's pretty
Yeah, man.
awesome, isn't it?
on brand. We're good.
I'm telling you.
That's it.
I'm really impressed.
I don't like the "Did you mean Popaholics," which is a bit
Is there such
Popaholic.
thing?
Yeah. What is that? So,
But I keep reminding people Podaholiks with a K.
that's it with a K. Trying to be clever, right?
Well,
Clever with a K.
Clever with a K.
Do you want to jump into it?
Yeah, where do you want to start? We got so many
Right at
things.
the beginning, right? Sky Mobile.
Well, this thing, I thought this was amazing.
This is fantastic.
And
how did you pick up on? I'm interested to know because this is very UK centric, right? And Sky is UK.
Yeah,
it's cable, right? It's Rupert Murdoch's cable back in Europe. But I was just interested to know how you picked up on it.
It was a European technology news.
Okay.
I just read from everywhere because I want to be in the
thirst
loop.
for knowledge.
I just want to be in the loop.
That's it.
And so this comes up, and at first it's Sky Mobile, and I was going, let's get out of there. And then it's like, hold on a second. This is absolutely brilliant because what they've done for their mobile users is you go to these apps, and what's going to stop you from watching a movie on your phone?
Yeah.
Data.
That's right. 100%.
If you're watching anything in the Sky Mobile suite, and they've got a lot of apps.
Yeah.
You're watching it through one of their apps, no data gets used.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, well, there you go. Instantly, I'd be watching TV on my phone. I'd be watching movies on my phone. I'd be going all over this. Yeah. Because that's what stops me.
Yeah, I mean, what's interesting is that there's another service, another network in the UK similar to like Tisla and Do. Yeah. Obviously, there's a lot more networks back home. There's real competition back there. But the Go Binge is on 3, where you can watch as much Netflix as you can. But this is the first mobile network to offer the whole Sky suite.
It's everything.
Now, I mean, for me, this is big because of sports.
Okay.
So Sky Sports
you could be watching
has all the football, right? So what I think is, I mean, a big part of, I think it's Verizon in the US.
Yep.
They show the NBA, MLB, like Major League Basketball and NFL. And you can take it anywhere you go. And a lot of them talk about that. So some of them are tied in with cable, with DirecTV.
Yeah.
On your mobile broadband, they give you unlimited. But I think this is a move in the right direction for me. Yeah. I mean, it would be great to see a Tisla or Do come out and say, or Virgin or something, and say, listen, binge out of Netflix.
Yeah.
You know, this for me.
And well, you watch it then through their apps so that they can tailor all the promotions to you. They're getting a hit on.
There's a whole lot of marketing associated.
And just think of all the metrics they get. So now suddenly they know how long you're watching things for, where you're tuning out.
Yeah.
They can then tailor their programming to the way I'm watching.
Yeah, I mean, imagine there's a lot of people that are on a metro here. There's a lot of people on a bus. They're passengers in a car. I mean, you know, for me with kids and stuff, you know, when you're going on that drive, you just burn through your data. I mean, parents will know you set fire to your data plan. You know, so it'd be nice to have, you know, your kind of socials covered like you. I think there's a plan that that Tisla and Do have, and Virgin and Swipe, I think, where you basically have unlimited social data.
Right.
So Instagram, Facebook.
They still do that?
I think they do.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah.
But I don't know anyone that's offering up, you know, channels. And this is just going back to, I think you and I were talking about this the other week about where do you watch certain things.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, Captain Marvel obviously was out this week, so I went up to the new.
Did you go see it?
Yeah, I went to the Laser IMAX.
And
oh, phenomenal.
You know, I was
just amazing. Have you seen it yet?
No, and I was not going to go see it.
Oh,
and
no,
then,
go
and
and
then
see it.
My one son, who I never trust what he's thinking because he's a computer programmer, he said, "Yeah, you got to see it."
Yeah.
And then my other son, who's always the skeptic, he chimed in and said, "Yeah, you know what? I wasn't going to see it.
Yeah.
I saw it. I was going to hate it."
Yeah.
And he said, "I loved it."
It's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, really different. And because of the nostalgia value, it's all kind of 90s. You'll like it.
Oh, okay. There we go.
I mean, I think they hit a sweet spot with that. It's kind of nice, but it's
I
very
love the 90s.
well written, and you know, I mean, talking about tech, that I went to the new Laser IMAX up
Isn't that amazing?
Up in IMG.
Isn't that
and
amazing?
It's phenomenal. And it's, I think, 27% bigger than the biggest screen at the moment.
Wow.
So it almost felt, as crazy as it sounds, too big. It
so
was
a separate entrance at IMG to get.
Yeah,
to that?
no, you just walk in IMG and turn right, and you're there. Boom. Yeah,
Wow.
it's kind of, I guess, you know, you can go to the theme park and stuff, but you don't have to. You can just walk straight up on upstairs and, you know, watch your movies, regular kind of movies up there. But
they used to have a giant screen like that at Maydan that was
Oh,
IMAX.
okay.
And I don't know what they did with it.
I'm
I don't
not
know
sure.
if they just shut
I
it.
don't think it's there anymore. You got IMAX at Morley Emirates, and you got IMAX down at
Murdoch City's got a IMAX Sapphire.
Oh, okay, and then you got
Which is
IMAX down
beautiful.
at Ibn Battuta as well.
And the problem is you can go to the Max screens and the Omni screens and all these screens. You go to an IMAX screen, you never want to go see movies any other way.
Yeah.
So we're sitting here over at Urban Grounds, and we got Colin Gerbich, who's working at Ford, waving at us through the window.
That's it.
Brave man though, he's got a bicycle on the back of his Jeep.
Oh, and now he's a brave man driving a Jeep if he works at Ford, right?
That's what I thought too. He does own a Focus.
Fair enough.
Own a Focus.
Fair enough.
But yeah, no, it's awesome.
Sorry, I sidetracked there. I got sidetracked. But yeah, so back to this. I think this is, especially in the UK, where obviously I think public transport is used a lot more. There's not always Wi-Fi available. I noticed when I was back last time. So
it's spotty. It's kind of scary, isn't it?
Yeah, and the great thing is now, obviously, and look, some people are concerned about jumping onto hotspots as well. The security, and there's a lot of fear mongering out there as well, as far as as soon as you jump on Wi-Fi, and you can take passwords and stuff. So I think it's nice that there's this option available. Now you got to be a Sky Go customer,
but that might be a reason to go across,
right? Yeah, 100%. You got to wonder if OSN are looking at this.
They've got to be.
And saying, we need to sign something up here. Because, I mean, they're hemorrhaging at the moment, right? I mean, when you ask someone who...
Why would anyone watch that?
Exactly.
That's what I mean.
It's tough sledding now,
Talk about being in a difficult position. 10 years ago, everyone was getting satellite dishes.
Everyone.
Now, who's getting a satellite dish?
That's it. And you kind of get OSN through a Tisselat and but I mean, I don't know now. I mean, HBO, I guess, is the only exclusive content that they have. They've lost the sport, and that kind of stuff. So... and it's tough for them. So I think they've got their own streaming service.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you tie in with, your Tesla, I mean, we're telling them what to do at the moment, but it's just an idea.
But I think they need to. I honestly think they need to because it just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, definitely.
This is, again, we've been talking about this so much, how with radio, how with the way we get video and television, the markets have completely changed in like 5 years.
Do you use, it was interesting, do you use any smart TV apps? Have you got a smart TV? No, because I don't use any of the apps on there. I don't tend to use any apps. I just wondered if you use the apps at all.
No, not at all.
Yeah,
but I think if I had a smart TV that was connected in, my complaint is, and I've got decent Wi-Fi in my home. I've got a decent pipe, but I think maybe my boss.
Please, I want to take that on a loop. I've got a decent pipe.
Yeah, I didn't realize what
if we had a sound guy at that point, he'd be hopping up and down with excitement about that. Yeah, we need that on a loop, and we need that as a soundbite from Piecowye. As long as there's other people chiming in and going, yeah, he has.
But I have good Wi-Fi coming into my place. Yeah. But my son was telling me he's got a gigabyte upload and download on fiber in Canada.
A gigabyte?
A gigabyte up and down.
Wow.
That's why.
And I was going to say, what's he paying for that? But I'll ask you, what are you paying for that?
No, but that's the thing. I'm not. No, he's paying for it. But
really?
It's some ridiculously low price.
Really?
Like $59 a month or something. It's like nothing. It's so
I know where
because otherwise he wouldn't have got it because he's his dad's
he's
son.
A student, right?
Yeah, he's going. I'm not going to be doing that. The other day, I mean, this is to tell you what it is. How money wise is because he goes to do a first aid recert. He's a lifeguard.
Okay.
He goes to do a first aid recert, and he goes to me. I had to take public transport 2 hours each way for a 7-hour course, and
really?
I'm going. Why wouldn't you take an Uber? And he's going, Dad, that would have been $30 each way.
Yeah.
And I'm going. For $30,
yeah,
I would have taken an Uber.
I know,
and he's going, nope.
But when I was in Toronto, I used Go Train, right?
Go Train, yeah,
yeah, fantastic,
yeah,
phenomenal, and the price difference was actually pretty significant because I stayed. I can't remember.
You were staying
No, where did I stay? I can't remember.
I can't remember where you said you were staying.
Yeah, but it was a good.
Was it Mississauga?
Close to there, yeah. I think it was like a 30-minute ride in an Uber.
Yeah.
And it was going to cost me about $40, and it was like $6 on Go Train.
Yeah. Why wouldn't you take?
And I was chilled.
And you're right downtown.
Yeah, and it was
no lights.
Yeah,
boom, couple stops.
Great.
Everyone loves it. And if you need to go to the washroom, they've got a toilet on board.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't. Yeah. No, but they were comfy trains.
Yeah.
I was pretty happy with it.
It's easy.
Busy.
Well,
busy.
Everyone's taking those.
Everyone's taking.
And don't forget, you can take where the train ends. Then they've got buses, so you can take the Go Bus.
Yeah. So, the Go Bus, yeah.
Yeah, so you got the whole thing working. But, back to the whole way things are going, and when we start talking about distribution of content, I'm seeing a lot more people talking about monetizing again. And this whole thing where people are trying to figure out, do I paywall it? Do I subscription it? Do I, and whether it be bundling everything into a service provider like Do or like Etisalat, how am I making my cash out of this operation? And I get it.
Yeah.
But sometimes I think people are they're still thinking in old terms. Well, we need to put a banner ad up, or we need to have an advertisement that plays. What about sponsored content? What about you're putting together great content, and you've got the coffee shop that it's saying, hey, you know what, we want you to do it from where we are and go for that, which we're not doing.
No.
We just hang out. They just say, yeah, you can do it here.
Yeah.
And it's like, and we even buy our own coffee.
That's actually, yeah. What's going on there? Poor salad as
we're
well.
leaving it all on the table.
Yeah, we need to. What the hell's going on?
Yeah, we haven't
We're doing it all wrong. Forget us.
Yeah,
Right, ignore
follow,
what we're doing.
Don't follow our advice.
No, I mean, I think it's interesting. There's
but on the other token,
yeah.
folks want to then get involved and they say, hey, we want you to give our products a try.
Yeah.
We want you to talk about our products, and you're building that relationship so that
yeah. I mean,
you're
I
getting
think
access.
when you see some of the kind of big podcasters in the US and how they're leveraging their audience.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of the big podcasters now broadcast on YouTube where they get huge views on YouTube, but a lot of them are up to other things.
Speaking of YouTube, and I'm just putting on pause, when someone was asking me how they find Podaholiks, and that's with a K, and they then keyed it into their phone and they were looking at it, and the first thing they said, oh, you're on YouTube too.
Yeah.
And I'm going,
yeah.
Why does everyone notice that?
And
why is
it
it
gets
important?
pulled. I mean, Google on YouTube and
but
stuff.
But why is it important to people? Because I'm going,
yeah. No, YouTube. I mean, I watch a lot of YouTube, so a lot of the podcasts I watch now, I like to see the people.
Okay.
So when I have the opportunity, not when I'm driving and stuff, but when I'm at home, I'll watch a podcast.
Okay.
You can see reactions, facial, reactions, stuff like that. So actually, I mean, I do quite. We'll start filming again, I guess.
I just put up the audio at this point. There is.
Yeah, and that's great. People can listen in. I think the thing
sometimes
is
I put some photos in if I'm taking a lot of photos, but we need to get a
camera set up for it.
We need to get a technician,
and that goes through. It goes through those stages where it's kind of like you start out. You know
what the challenge always becomes. Yeah. The challenge becomes, okay, I can collect the video, but who's then going to do something with it?
Who's going to edit it?
Yeah,
exactly.
and I look at it, and it's even with our audio. Our audio is pretty clean because
it's nice,
we just
you spend time on it.
Well, and a lot of times, just when we're laying down the audio, we know where we're going, so we can. There's not a lot we have to do to it, but it's. If you want to do more, suddenly that's more time, and it's like, okay, how much more time do I have to invest in this?
Yeah. No, and I think the thing is that what you're starting to see in the States is you're starting to see people leverage their audience. So once you've kind of got an audience, it's then taking that audience along a journey with you, and you because you have a pretty close relationship with them, because these people see you, hear you, listen to you every week. What you've got is you've got buy-in on certain other things. So now, a lot of podcast guys, a lot of the YouTube guys are monetizing their activity either through the platforms themselves or they're kind of monetizing associated to other products and brands.
I like that idea.
From that. So I think that's the kind of monetization point that seems to be out there at the moment, and they're just leveraging that audience because, I mean, a lot of it is almost like content and inbound marketing. You're kind of giving out a lot of good quality content and you're expecting people that interact with you to perhaps possibly buy something that on the back of a recommendation you make. And then obviously you work with advertisers and brands and that kind of stuff. So, it's interesting though, obviously how this discussion keeps coming up. I mean, I think the challenge, if we move away from pods and into kind of journalism,
right?
That's been a real challenge for the kind of print media and things like that, and the value attached to, good quality journalism and should you be paying for that? I mean, I think yes,
absolutely. I agree with you.
There's not. It's tough for them to compete in a paid environment for real-time news.
Yes.
But, when you're talking about in-depth investigative journalism or, embedded or article, lifestyle pieces, those kinds of things. I think you can't beat the likes of, Washington Post, New York Times, that kind of stuff. And
but you know what I love about the New York Times is that they have, obviously, they have their pay section and that.
Yeah.
But they do so much in other areas. With their VR, for instance, which is wide open, which I really love. Yeah. Their cooking stuff, you might want to go inside that paywall. It's very nice.
Yeah, well, I think Inc.com, which INC.
Yeah.
They do a lot of great content, and it's one of the magazines I tend to buy when I'm back flying. And they're behind a paywall now after I think 8 articles, I want to say, or something. But that's definitely so. I didn't even realize that. I mean. I broached that last week. I went, oh, okay. But it wasn't, I'm not going to pay for this. It was, wow, okay, I've read 8 articles this month I'm enjoying their content. I'm not seeing it anywhere else. So yeah, of course I'll pay $3-4 to kind of continue to enjoy it. So I think it's just that, it goes back to value, right? What's valuable to somebody? Yeah. You and I, value real journalism and real investigation and these kinds of things. Some other people don't, and that's
and you got to figure out where
different folks, different strokes.
Well,
right?
That's it. Okay, I want to jump into one of the articles that I sent you online that Apple. Apple's doing some crazy stuff here.
Yeah,
they've got their annual event that they're holding. They're holding an event. They're not annual. It's on March 25th in Steve Jobs Theater. And they sent out invitations, and this is for their video streaming service.
Yeah, streaming.
And a subscription news service.
Yeah.
And I went, what?
Yeah, so, they've got these Apple TVs.
I know. I think this is brilliant.
Yeah, I don't know about you. I got 4 Apple TVs.
Yeah, I got
in my
0
house.
Apple TVs.
Okay. I should give you one of mine.
But if you, and this is the thing, because I've got a bunch of students doing some research on Apple Watches versus other wearables. If you own Apple products and you're using
my wrist, they're gone. I still don't have my watch.
I'm wearing my Fitbit.
Nice.
Still
I'd still don't have my watch.
Yeah. But if you're using Apple products and you've bought into it and you're using an iPhone and you've got you're gonna go for the streaming video service. You're gonna go for the streaming news service.
Yeah, you got to wonder. You got to wonder. So apparently these were 18 months, 2 years ago when they were going up buying. Well, not buying, but tying producers and directors. I think at the time into that. So
they're
ready.
They know what they're
original
doing.
content is probably where they're gonna go.
Absolutely.
I imagine. But
and if they do it in a fun way and a little bit of innovation involved,
you've got an audience straight away, right? Yeah. So the thing is, you can push an app on all of your devices.
Yeah.
So I guess there's going to have
to
be,
and you optimize it to work on all those devices.
And you got your watch, like you said. You've got would I be watching? Look at this stage. Would I watch a 30-second news show on my watch?
Yeah,
I might.
I would.
I
absolutely.
might. But if I'm streaming cartoons or original content, I'm going to watch it on there. Interestingly
on my
enough,
phone, I'd watch it on my phone. There's no question.
They were saying that interestingly enough, on some of these streaming services, Netflix and Prime and Hulu, I think they're pretty secretive about the habits of kind of what people do.
But they know it all.
But they know, and what they've said is, if you want to get, and it was a comedian that was talking, and traditionally in a comedic set, you will build to something.
Yeah.
And you'll end on this crescendo, right? Stand-up comedians, you'll end on that. You save your big jokes for last.
Yeah, always.
All of the streaming services have recommended to the comedians, make sure you put your good stuff at the front. because they were saying that people's attention spans are so little now, and you've got so much choice. Like if there's a comedian there and he's not making me laugh within 2 minutes, I'm going somewhere else. So we've got like 30 other choices.
So imagine this. So this is what our streaming services are telling us to the comedians and to content. I'm telling educators exactly the same thing. I'm telling educators, you better make your class like a YouTube video, and you better put your best stuff first. And they're looking at me going, what? I'm going, if you're not
catching people straight away.
If your content and the way you're producing that content in your classroom isn't doing what they're doing on YouTube, you fail.
Totally.
And these academics, they don't want to believe me. They're going, no, it doesn't work like that. And I'm going, yeah, it does.
100% does.
I know. It's like,
because you're at the coalface.
Yeah.
You're dealing with the guys, the kids, the young adults that have grown up in a YouTube generation.
Exactly.
And they're used to something instant gratification. They put something up and someone likes it straight away.
Exactly.
You're dealing with all of those, but also if you're trying to engage with someone, you've got to make sure that you kind of set up the sexy stuff from day one, right?
Absolutely. Hey, vindication, by the way, also with respect to my MacBook Pro.
Okay.
What's my big complaint? This darn touchpad that's way too big.
Yes.
And I thought it was just me. I'm reading some articles. No, there's a whole bunch of us, and they described exactly what it is. The heel of your hand when you're typing hits this touchpad, activates it, and mayhem happens.
Screws up. Yeah.
And so what one guy was saying, and it's in an article that is from ZDNet. He's talking about the hideous design flaw.
Yeah.
And he's saying why they're not just putting in the code to mitigate that, given that they have the same code already in the iPads.
Yeah.
So they don't do this thing.
I don't know. It's
odd,
know.
It's weird. It kills me.
It's strange that I haven't got it. One of the things actually, so Amit had to put his MacBook in. And it was, and this is someone that's been working on a Mac for many years.
Yeah.
And still, if he'd bought
I'm considering getting rid of this thing.
If he'd bought the bigger Surface,
he
would have just stayed on the Surface because the problem with the sticky keys,
right?
He got that. So he got that this past week here, and he went down to Apple Care, and he's like, listen, okay, we need it for 7 days. I mean, this
7
is,
days.
I think it's 7, 6 or 7. This is a problem. This is a fault. Because I said to him straight away, I said, the wishbone, it kind of gets stuck, and my letter P got stuck. And there's nothing more frustrating or infuriating because there's no responsive back, and it's a tick. But it's frustrating when there's known flaws like that.
Yeah.
Why don't they go after it?
I get the same with this touchpad. Sometimes
I don't have really problems with the touchpad. Perhaps I'm typing a bit differently.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I'm trying to figure out how I need to type because it's killing me. It's to the point that I just want to get rid of this thing.
Yeah, I'm trying to. Perhaps I'll tell you what it might be because you have yours at an angle higher.
Maybe.
So perhaps you're leaning. I don't know, Mike, because I don't really get that.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Man,
I understand it. I didn't mean as I don't get it.
There's a whole bunch of folks that have that issue. So I came across this wonderful piece about Lego. And these folks that were building, and it's on YouTube. You can see them. They're building a full-size VW camper van out of Lego. And
crazy, right?
And these guys set out to do it, and it's kind of cool because they're adults building Lego. But what really got me was all of the computer modeling they're doing to figure out exactly how many pieces they needed. Like the whole process is computer driven. Yeah. They're doing it by hand, but everything is measured to the point that the computer's even telling them, okay, you're actually under pieces. And I just went, that is amazing.
Smart.
Yeah.
I think they did the same thing for the Bugatti Veyron.
Yeah.
They built out a working Bugatti Veyron in Lego. And they use similar kind of programs to determine, how many pieces they need. And I mean, there's someone, I think at Legoland here, that their full-time job is a Lego architecture. And they will literally look at a plan and dissect it, and then 3D model it. It's phenomenal. Yeah.
This is a task that I always wanted to have, and my son. This is what when he started getting into computer stuff. That's what he wanted to do. He wanted to be a Lego designer. That was his original. When you say to Max, what are you going to do? What's your career going to be? Lego designer.
They've done a good job of pivoting as well. I mean, Lego when I was growing up was Lego Technic, Lego, and Space.
Yeah.
But now you've got all of the kind of endorsements through Marvel and DC and all those kinds of things.
It's absolutely insane.
Yeah, they've done well there.
I want to jump back to Apple for a quick second.
Go for it.
And 2020, Apple AR glasses could go on sale. Apple is back in the game, and these glasses, though, and this is the thing. So Apple, it goes back to the video and goes back to their other streaming services that are coming online. You're going to need your phone to make it work. So they're going to be connected via the phone. They're not going to run independently.
Now, do you think, like a lot of the other things that Apple has kind of championed, do you think this will be the big break for VR?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's AR.
Sorry, AR.
But you know what? I think it could be.
Yeah,
because
they're masters of bringing something to the table that's been there for 5 years, right? And then saying, hey, look at this! Whoa, I didn't even realize that happened.
I think the fact that it's gonna leverage the power of the phone.
Yeah,
I think this could be the thing. This
could. I
hope they jump
right.
in with Oakley. Yeah. I hope they
partner up with someone nice.
Partner up with Oakley to get really nice looking frames and titanium. And I just think it's. I
don't know what that is. I think they're masters at being able to pinpoint timing.
They're masters of innovating the things that are already out there.
Yeah,
that's what Apple is. They're great innovators.
But you think of like the iPad. Yeah. The fact was that Microsoft had that for years.
Exactly, and they watched
no one
struggle.
Yeah, it's like no one wanted it, and then they're like, okay, this is the time. Boom, we're going to learn it. And
I think
they need to. This is the kind of thing genuinely that Apple needs to be talking about.
Yeah.
Because they can't talk about folding phones.
Yeah, forget it. Forget it.
So I think that they need to be talking about this.
I hope they do.
They need to be. This and other things.
This is the first place that I've seen people talking about this.
Yeah.
And they're even talking. What about Google Glass? They're coming out. They're going to be probably ahead of it just before Apple. But let's face it. At the end of the day. Yeah. Are you going to buy Google Glasses or are you going to buy the Apple AR? You're going to go with Apple.
You're going to go with the Apple.
I mean, and I use all the Google stuff, but am I going to go Google?
Yeah.
Probably not. And again, what are they capitalizing on? All the people who own iPhones. And those are the people who typically are owning the higher end phones.
Yeah.
Because they don't make a cheap phone.
No.
They make a less expensive phone, but it's not cheap.
Yeah.
And so who's going to buy it?
You got to wonder as well if the Apple AR glasses work with your other Apple devices. So you kind of look down at your watch and you see,
you
know, a projected screen, or your Apple TV with streaming service.
As long as you're wired into the phone, as long as I think it probably would connect.
It all connects through.
I would think, but I think ultimately the engine lives in the phone.
Yeah,
and I think that's the key. You're using your technology already. That's going to be, it's going to have the latest and greatest. They're moving to their own in-house chip.
Yeah,
of course they're doing that because they want to build the AR stuff into it, and they don't want other people selling it. It's like smart.
Yeah, I think they need to.
Who's paying attention to this stuff? Just you and me.
Clearly, they do need to be looking at things like this. I think because otherwise they are in danger of kind of potentially losing some of that younger crowd.
But you know the thing
kind of
is,
focus.
I'm an Android phone user. Yeah. If this actually works like they say it will, I'll jump. Not even a question. Not even a hesitation. I would be there because I wear glasses all the time. So so the idea of having stylish frames that are AR activated, because I'm always wearing my glasses, I'm there. I would love to have AR on my glasses. Not a question.
Not be a glass hole, as they started calling those people. That was going around. People with Google Glass. They were getting called glass holes. People are cruel, man. As soon as you come out with something great, I saw a guy completely.
Take us right down
I saw a guy completely get shot down with a Google Glass because we were in a group and he came over and he was loving the fact that he had this Google Glass on, and some guy just turned around to him and went, "No one called you a glass hole yet?" And he was just like, "Oh." It was great.
Oh man,
made me laugh.
We got to wrap this up, don't we?
Yeah, we got to. I guess we've been talking a million miles an hour today.
We've talked a million miles an hour, but I'm looking at this and I think we hit
first time we've ever bounced through and gone through the plan.
No, we didn't go through the plan, and that's it. This is kind of the Podaholiks running joke across all of our programs.
Yeah.
And Colin over at We Will Fix It, he probably makes the most fun of this because every show, and once the website's up, we'll start
put the notes in. Yeah.
And at this point, we'll start. We won't put the old ones. We'll start on those shows right away.
Yeah.
But he always laughs because we sit down with notes and he's taking notes and we got them right. We got a talking plan, and it's always, so did we hit 20%?
That's it. Well, there's a lot to talk about.
There is, and things just come up. So. Do we have an ETA yet on our site? Is it? It's in the works. It's well working.
Sorry, guys.
I know. You're working on it.
Yeah, we will get it up. I think we said last month it'll be 20th, but I think by the end of this month we'll have it up.
Beautiful.
So we'll have it up in time for April.
But in the meantime, if you just Google Podaholiks with a K,
you find us straight away. You can listen to us.
We do post stuff up on brand on our Instagram and Twitter. We're on YouTube.
We're everywhere.
And if you want to get in touch with us, podaholiks@gmail.com.
Give us a shout.
Simple.
Yeah, cool.
Andrew, it's been a splice.
Thanks,
do it again soon.
Thank you.
You've been listening to Tech Talk with Andrew Thomas from digitalnexa.com. Something on your mind? Question, query, comment? Drop us an email. podaholiks@gmail.com, or reach out across the socials. That's Podaholiks. We love to hear from you. Share the link, and we'll talk to you again really soon. So long for now.